Shabba musical. There are crowds in many places, in every community, you can see. So if you see crime, report it. Don't take law in your hands for the real authority. Well, it can't take your law in. Crime stopper here for us. We need safety to your door. Whether you rich or you poor. If you see you must talk it. I mean you cheche. Do well for your safety. If you see don't keep it. You must call to report it. Crime Stopper. The people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper. Stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime Stopper Liberia. From the center to interior. Crime Stopper. Keeping us safe, they're stopping crimes for all of us. Crime Stopper. The people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper. Stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime Stopper Liberia. From the center to interior. Crime Stopper. Keeping us safe, they're stopping crimes for all of us.
Crime Stopper Liberia is your community crime fighting partner. Don't take the law into your own hands. Remember, if you see a crime, report it. This is a message from your own self, Old Man Sam Cyan.
Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime Stopper Liberia. From the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, they're stopping crime for all of us. Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime Stopper Liberia. From the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, they're stopping crimes for all of us.
Rabbi, why you taking it?
I said, darling, you look so worried.
Charles, I'm worried because I don't know where to get stuff for my shop and restaurant.
Oh, come on, man. Haven't you heard about Exodus Best Price Store on Gurley Street and Smart Grove Junction on the Old Road?
Oh, no, Charles. Tell me about it.
Exodus Best Price Store got everything for your shop and restaurant. And the good news is that they have reduced the prices of club beer products and imported beverages. So to keep that graduation party, wedding reception, and whatever occasion jumping till the break of dawn, Exodus Best Price Store is that place for you.
Is that all?
No, they have for the first time introduced on the LIB market Buffalo Revive that comes with 4 different flavors: Cool Blue, Apple Kiwi, Full Red, and Fitness Orange. It's good for athlete and everyone. For wholesale and retail supply, call cell number 0770-617-575. Exodus Best Price Store on Gurley Street and the Old Road Smart Road Junction. We are your cheaper wholesale and retail store.
He said, when you want some more, I provide. So we start to talk. Come on, so go in T20 pop. Put it to each key.
Yes, indeed, folks. Exodus Best Price Store is your wholesale, cheaper, and retail. That's retail store. Want to say a pleasant good morning to you and welcome to another brand new presentation of the program from the Print News. Today, Monday, the 26th day of May, 2025 is the year. My name is Wendell Nimna, and I'm here this morning with Esther Daku. Esther, good morning and welcome.
Good morning, Wendell. Good morning to the good people of Liberia. I don't know why I'm not hearing myself well, but yeah, but good morning, guys. It's good to be here again on the Monday edition of the program from the Print News. My name is Esther Daku, like Wendell said, and I'm glad that I'm able to, share my own thoughts on the various trending issues that are happening in our country.
All right, so that's it. That's why we are here to bring you stories making headlines in the print media. As a matter of fact, we go beyond the headlines. So, how was your weekend?
Great. My weekend was, I just don't want to explain.
You had a fantastic
But my
weekend.
weekend was great. It was one of the best weekend I've had so far since I came back from my vacation. This was the best.
Mm,
Yeah.
wow.
Uh-huh.
Well, my weekend was also great. We went on a assessment mission somewhere in the Seaview community, Wingbastown, on the Robertsfield Highway, where the folks in the area, people come from different areas to go there and do illegal sand mining that is threatening the community. And so we were there over the weekend to, call the people attention that, what they are doing is not good.
Mm.
There are designated areas that you can go and do sand mining.
Okay.
In fact, the people what they're doing there, they're making bricks on the beach.
Who?
Community folks,
Okay.
they are making bricks, taking sand from on the beach and making bricks right on the beach.
Hmm.
So there are two things they're doing. They are doing illegal sand mining, and they are also defrauding government, of just taxes. Because if you want to do block business, you have to pay taxes to government.
Of course.
So the guys are doing the bricks right on the beach. And you know what they're doing? They open they got a passage from the community all the way to the beach.
Mm-hmm.
So we spoke with them. They told us that they are not happy of what they are doing, but they don't have any means of survival.
That's why that's what I almost said, because for the fact that you live in a country where people pay taxes when you do not see the essence of the taxes you're paying, because the government cannot alleviate you out of poverty. You don't have the source of income to feed your family, or put your kids in school. There are a lot of factors, Wendell. So we're hoping that in as much as these guys have to pay the taxes, government needs to understand that you owe it to the people too.
Mm-hmm.
To do something for them.
But it still doesn't allow you to do illegal things,
of course,
threatening other people's properties, because what they are doing there, and the area we are speaking of is not too far from where the vice president lived.
Okay.
So we were not too, I was like 2-3 minutes from the vice president house doing that live video. So I mean,
so if the vice president house isn't far from that end window, let the people keep money, let the water carry yours.
No, they wouldn't do that. The people can't do that. The thing here is that they according to the community folks, they said when the vice president was senator, the guys were doing illegal sand mining behind the area. But immediately when he got the vice president position, he had to stop the guys from doing illicit mining, and the other folks are continuing the illicit mining.
Mm-hmm.
Let me talk to the old man. Let's go ahead. Yes,
okay, so that's what it is. It's not a good thing, when you go to do mining illegally. Whether sand mining, whatever mining is wrong. And we cannot engage into these kind of things. What I said, was just out of joke and stuff like that. Because at the end of the day, when you keep doing these mining and stuff, people houses get affected in that area. We're talking about the different communities apart from areas that got, seen with your people build on areas that at the end of the day, the community gets flooded and stuff. So it's not a good thing.
So true. So Esther, we also have on the line old man Sam Sion, who is also concerned about this illicit sand mining.
Okay.
Old man Sam Sion, good morning and welcome.
Good morning, Mr. Nimler. Good morning, Esther. And my contribution basically comes from the security perspective.
Okay.
So we have a situation in Liberia. People are doing gold and diamond mining across the country. In all the counties, the beaches in Monrovia, people are doing illegal sand mines. Mr. Nimler, there's an other side to that.
Mm.
If you go and then you take all of these people who are involved in this mining, look, it's estimated we have 120,000 miners, illegal miners across the country. 120,000 illegal miners.
Mm-hmm.
From Sino to Grand Nigeria to Bond to Lofa to Nima. Skipma, all over these people are doing illegal mining. Mr. Nimler, there is no job in the country.
Mm.
And for the fact that these youth don't have job, they have found alternative. A positive alternative is where they are doing this money and they are not getting in trouble. Look, if you attempt to remove these people, all of the illegal money across the country, I'm sure that's one of the reasons why the government is not contemplating of removing this illegal money from across the country. Because if you remove all of these more than 100,000 illegal miners, where do you carry them? What do they do? What do you have to offer? What is the alternative for them if they have to leave the money? We Would I agree we have a serious situation, particularly economic situation? People need to survive. But Kenny, if you want to remove the miners from the places where they are doing lazy money, Mr. Leonard, the community you went in yesterday, I watched a clip of that video. And in that community, there were no issues of robbery, there were no issues of crime. Now, all you had there yesterday when I watched the community dweller spoke to you on your microphone was about money, send money, and send money.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody reported to you about any crime, criminal activities in that community. Because these people are doing something to survive. I agree with you 100%. This money is undermined and then creates erosion that will cause damages to our properties in the community. But what do they have to do? What do we have to offer? If you remove them from the monies all across the country, you create a serious national security threat. This part I wanted to make that clear.
Okay.
Even though you say in Lofa, they say if you tell the cat not to eat a rat, you also tell the rat not to smell.
I love that.
So I just wanted to let you know, removing this guy just like that is a threat to the country.
Thank you very much, Omen Sam Sion, for chipping in, and that's the issue, Esther.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I said in my intro, these guys are telling us that look, we know what we are doing is not good, but we don't have other means of survival. So if the government can create that avenue for us, you think we'll lead out that other era that will come, we say we're taking sand from on the beach. We will not do it. But we wake up in the morning, we ain't got nothing to do. So we come on the beach, we haul 12 a load of wheelbarrow, we get 1,200 a day. So if you can go 3 rounds of that 12 wheelbarrows, you'll be talking about $3,600. So, I mean, people are coming from all over. I'm told people from 540, people from other communities, they go in the Seaview community on the Roberts Free Highway, to be precise, Wingbass and do the sand mining. And people got their huge properties over there. Their fear is in the not too distant future, their homes may not be there anymore because of the illicit sand mining. So we hold the Environmental Protection Agency and those requisite government institutions can do something about it to see how best, the issue of sand mining can be something that will, come to an end. But folks, let's continue with the papers this morning. Esther and I in our studio this morning, we have 2 local dailies. The Front Page Africa newspaper
And the Daily Observer.
Okay, so we are about to begin the reading. Before me is the Front Page Africa newspaper. And it says here, top stories. Majority bloc lied on JFK is a question mark. Speaker Kun admits Kofa's ouster was political payback against opposition CDC. And another story says here, fostering bilateral ties, high-level Indian delegation to visit Liberia. And lastly, fully in support. LCC refutes defamatory claims and reaffirms confidence in current leadership. So we get to the big stories. It says bombing senator dismisses claims of undermining Liberian government as false and unfounded. Government witch hunting snow is a question mark to this caption. The government of Liberia reminds Mr. Snow and other officials who may hold similar thought that no citizen is licensed to undermine his or her own country and government by vying to use ECOWAS internal institutions or other international organizations to either promote their selfish ambitions or plot destabilization. The government of Liberia calls on all sub-regional, regional, and international organizations to ensure that such plan by Mr. Snow and his collaborators to undermine and destabilize the Liberian government is not actualized. Ministry of Information, Cultural Affairs and Tourism. While I take steps to verify the authenticity of this publication, I wish to state in the strongest possible terms that I categorically reject and condemn any such false and unfounded allegations should the statement be confirmed as authentic. I will immediately call for a full, independent, and transparent investigation into these malicious accusations against my person. Edwin Melvin Snow, Senator, Bombing County. And we see the photograph of Information Minister Jared Lemek-Pia and the Bombing County Senator Edwin Melvin Snow. Let's take some lines from that story. Let's bring you a few lines. Bombing County Senator Edwin Melvin Snow Jr. has condemned what he describes as unfounded and malicious accusations by the government of Liberia, which he claims are intended to tarnish his reputation and intimidate opposition voices. The government of Liberia on Saturday accused Senator Snow, who also serves as a member of the ECOWAS Parliament, of vying to use his influence within the sub-regional organization to ensure the failure of the administration led by Joseph Boakai or by President Joseph Boakai. According to the Ministry of Information, Senator Snow allegedly declared his intention to do everything possible, including discouraging foreign direct investment and making Liberia ungovernable and unstable until he becomes president of Liberia. The government of Liberia condemns recent irresponsible and inflammatory statement made by Bombing County Senator Snow. The ministry's statement read, "No citizen is licensed to undermine his or her own country by vying to use ECOWAS internal institutions or other international organizations to promote selfish ambitions or plot destabilization." The government characterized the alleged remarks as a direct threat to national peace, stability, and development. It also called on ECOWAS, the African Union, and other international partners to prevent any such plan by Senator Snow and his collaborators from being carried out. The government of Liberia calls on all sub-regional, regional, and international organizations to ensure that such plan by Mr. Snow and his collaborators to undermine and destabilize the Liberian government is not actualized, the ministry added. In response, Senator Snow, who is currently on an official assignment in the Kingdom of Sweden with the ECOWAS Parliament, expressed shock at the timing and tone of the government statement, calling it a deliberate attempt to cast aspersions on his integrity. It is with deep concern and profound disappointment that I respond to an official statement which falsely attributes to me inflammatory and irresponsible remarks intended to undermine and destabilize the government of Liberia, Snow said. He added that the government's claim is not only inappropriate, but also a disturbing and deliberate attempt to malign his character as a statesman and responsible member of the opposition. Senator Snow rejected the allegations, saying, "I categorically reject and condemn these allegations as entirely baseless, malicious, and politically motivated." He denied ever making any comments that could be construed as inciting panic, promoting instability, or threatening Liberia's democratic order. He also rejected claims that he has used his ECOWAS or international networks to orchestrate actions against the Liberian government, calling the ministry's allegation and implicit accusations of treason. Senator Snow warned such actions violate constitutional protections and undermine democracy and the rule of law. Well, let's leave it there and take our final story before we send controls to Esther to bring us more stories from the Daily Observer. Victims of Lord Rebels General K1 say they are living in fear as his sentence is delayed in Philadelphia court. We are still frightened. Since we left from Philadelphia, I am in North Monrovia because I was living in Jacobtown with my family and has many family and friends there. So my fear is if I live there and he is not sentenced and he is still outside and he has a telephone, he has friends, brother, and other people who were in the court. They know me and they know my family. So it made me to leave Jacobtown. I was forced to go into the bush. 39-year-old witness. We are still frightened. He now avoids his usual activities and doesn't tell people where he lives. We are not safe with people of his ethnic group. We are still frightened. I was happy because I am sure justice has been served. The justice we are seeking for is for everybody, not only for my uncle alone, because he did lots of things. People died under him, victim of Lai Sekou Kamara. That's Lai Sekou Kamara. Let's get to a few lines from that story. Let's see what it's all about. All right, let's take a few lines from there. And it says here, they were among 17 witnesses who overcame more than 2 decades of fear to travel to the United States city of Philadelphia in January to testify against Lai Sekou Kamara, the once dreaded general with the lurid rebel faction. One after the other witnesses told the court that Kamara, known by the war name K1, had committed horrific acts of murder, torture, rape, and forced labor. After last week's news that the sentencing phase of Kamara's trial had been delayed until September, some told Front Page Africa that though they had no regrets about testifying, the delay has left them with more months living in fear. I don't even want him to be out to communicate with anybody. I want him to be in prison now, said one 39-year-old witness who traveled to Philadelphia in an interview in Monrovia for him being outside communicating as a threat to us. Communicating is a threat to us. If he is in jail, I believe that he would not communicate with any family member. The January hearing in Philadelphia was not to determine Kamara's guilt. A week before the hearing, in a surprise move, Kamara admitted to the 4 counts with which he had been charged, conceding he had lied to U.S. immigration authorities when he applied for asylum in Senegal in the 2000s. He had told them that he had not taken part in the wars that left 250,000 Liberians dead and more than 1 million people displaced. Once Kamara pleaded guilty, January's court session became a sentencing hearing where the victims told the judge of the horrors they said they had suffered at Kamara's hands. The judge was then to take that into consideration in deciding if he would follow prosecutors' recommendation that Kamara serve 40 years in prison. Kamara hoped that pleading guilty would encourage the judge to impose a lesser sentence, which could include no prison time at all. Kamara, like Mohamed Jabate, the Ulimo commander, serving 30 years in prison after his 2017 conviction in this same court, will be deported to Liberia after he has served his prison time. Still, the news of delayed sentence prompted some of the victims to tell Front Page Africa that they are living in fear as Kamara and his allies continue to harass and threaten them. Since we left from Philadelphia, I am not in Monrovia because I was living in Jacobtown with my family, and he has many family and friends there, said the 30-year-old witness who told the Philadelphia court that he first met Kamara in Lofa when he was a young teenager. We said Kamara brutally beat his uncle when the man would not give the boy up, and then forced the witness to travel with him for many months to carry loads and do other duties. The witness said he saw Kamara commit dozens of murders, torture, rape, and recruitment of children. So my fear is if I live there and he is not sentenced and he is still outside and he has a telephone, he has friends, brother, and other people who were in the court. They know me and they know my family. So it made me to leave Jacobtown. I was forced to go into the bush. Kamara is not in detention as he awaits sentencing. He is in home detention, monitored by an ankle bracelet at his residence in the state of New Jersey. At January's hearing, Kamara was not given a chance to speak to the court. He appeared agitated and repeatedly told journalists that God knows the truth. Two Liberian men who came to court with Kamara tried to intimidate journalists outside the courtroom. It's somewhere around there. I will just check. It's somewhere around there. So I think that's where we can stop, and then let's get to Esther for the continuation of the dailies. Esther is going to bring us the Daily Observer.
Right. I think you've heard most of the stories that we have here on the Daily Observer, but let's see what we can bring. Senator Snow on a fire for alleged threat to make Liberia unstable. Waka administration takes him to tax. ECOWAS likely to escalate demands for accountability. When they have already brought that, Esalamita expected in Liberia amid Esalamita excels expected in Liberia amid high tax multi-user rail policy shutdown. Waka reform remains firm. Okay, the next one. Liberianizing the marine sector. APM Terminus Liberia and CZERT presents Liberia's first satisfied marine pilot and talk master. We have Liberian-born Alpha Collins elected double mayor in the UK as UNESCO calls for streamlining of training across all schools, ensuring alignment with national priorities and needs. Well, at the back page of the Daily Observer, Liberia's tax chief calls for ease of tax payments to empower SMEs. It says the Economic Community of West African States marked its 50th anniversary. Commissioner General of the Liberia Revenue Authority, James Double Jala, used the platform to sound a clarion call for urgent reforms amid or aimed at easing tax compliance for small and medium enterprises. His message emphasized that empowering this critical sector is key to Liberia's and Africa's economic growth and integration. The two-day event held on May 23rd to 24th and co-hosted by ECOWAS, the Made in Liberia Fair, the EcoBank Liberia, was designed not only to commemorate the half-century milestone of the West African region economic community, but also to highlight the opportunities and challenges facing Liberia businesses within the regional and continental economic framework. ECOWAS is 50 years old. I think all of us who are citizens of ECOWAS and all those who join in with ECOWAS to get here need to rise and give ourselves a round of applause, Commissioner Jala declared, setting a tone of pride and optimism. Since its inception in 1975, ECOWAS has sought to foster economic integration, free movement of goods and people, and regional stability across 15 West African states. The celebration underscored how far the bloc has come in expanding opportunities for trade and cooperation. We have come a long way in terms of opportunity integration, Jala said. There's still quite a lot to achieve, but we are getting there gradually. Yet, amid the progress, Jala was candid about a persistent hurdle threatening economic inclusion. The informal sector, dominated by small and medium businesses, remains largely outside the tax net. This challenge, Jala explained, is not unique to Liberia but is a shared struggle across the African continent. He recounted his recent attendance at the Africa Tax Administration Forum's annual meeting in Kigali, Rwanda last December. One of the key highlights across the continent is that we commissioner generals and heads of tax bodies are grappled with how to integrate the larger section of our economies, the informal sector dominated by SMEs into the tax net, Jala said. Liberia's informal sector, comprising many micro and small businesses, presents specific obstacles in tax collection. These include limited understanding of tax processes, lack of capacity to comply, and the cumbersome nature of filing and payment procedures. We recognize these challenges, Jala said. There are hurdles in how taxes are paid and filing process and limited capacity of small businesses. He pointed to a persistent source of frustration for taxpayers. Lately, I have been receiving a lot of complaints from taxpayers about long queues at our tax payment windows. Sitting for hours is not good for enhancing voluntary compliance, which is the objective we want to achieve. To address these issues, the LRA is intensifying efforts to streamline tax payment processes, improve taxpayer services, and build capacity among SMEs. We are working hard and will continue this engagement to make it easier and more seamless for those willing to pay their taxes. Jada said he announced the deployment of teams from LRA Small and Medium Enterprises Division and Taxpayer Services Division to engage directly with business during the Made in Liberia Fair and related events. I think, Wendell, we want to stop here, but we have Aliyu Masale with us. Just before we take our last story, Wendell,
Mm.
at the back page of this paper, Gafuan leads Liberians delegation to 2025 AFDB annual meetings in Abuja. The Minister of Finance and Development Planning, Augustine Kwei Gafuan, has departed Liberia at the head of the high-level delegation to participate in the 2025 annual meetings of the African Development Bank to be held in Abuja, Cote d'Ivoire. I mean, sorry, this is not Abuja, this is Abidjan. I'm kind of mistaken. So, Gafuan leads Liberia's delegation to 2025 AFDB annual meetings in Abidjan. Hmm. Minister Gafuan is accompanied by the Deputy Minister of Economic Management. Uh, this is Depu Zuo. The delegation will represent Liberia in key engagements during the meetings, which bring together policymakers and stakeholders from across the African continent and beyond. According to a dispatch, a central focus of this year's gathering will be the election of a new president for the African Development Bank Group. This comes as the current president, Dr. Akinwumi A. Adesina, I think that this is Adesina, concludes his second 5-year term. In addition to plenary sessions, Minister Gafuan is expected to engage in a number of bilateral and multilateral discussions on the sidelines of the meetings. Notably, Minister Gafuan will serve as one of the panelists for the thematic knowledge event 2, Building Effective Institutions in Africa for Harnessing Capacity for Development. The knowledge event, to be held on Friday, May 30, will offer a vital platform for dialogue to strengthen Africa's institutions and governance systems to better harness capacity for development. Minister Kafuan will give the report of the Standing Committee of the Board of Governors from the AFDB on conditions of service for elected officers to the board for endorsement. The board meeting is scheduled for Thursday, May 27. The report contains key recommendations agreed by the committee at their meeting in Washington, D.C. The Liberian Finance Minister was unanimously elected as a chair of the Standing Committee of the Board of Governors for the AFDB on conditions of service for elected officers at a meeting of the committee held on the sidelines of the IMF World Bank Spring meeting held in April 2025 in Washington, D.C. The Liberian delegation will also meet with the head of African Water Facility at that meeting. The managing director of the Liberia Water and Civil Corporation, Mohammed Ali, will join the team. The African Water Facility, headquartered in Abidjan, mobilized and deploys financial and human resources to ensure water security in Africa and thus contribute to the achievement of the targets and objectives set by the African Water Vision for 2025 and the Sustainable Development Goals 2030. Convene under the theme Making Africa's Capital Work Better for Africans' Development. This year's meeting will emphasize strategies to harness the continent's financial, human, and natural capacity in support of inclusive resilience and sustainable development. Participation will also explore opportunities, Participants will also explore opportunities for enhanced partnerships and external financing to support Africa's long-term transformation. So far, I think these are all of the stories we have. Lesson controls to you.
Thank you very much. That was splendid on your part to bring us the Daily Observer. Let's bring Aliyu in. Aliyu, you can greet the audience, and then we recap the stories and take our breaks. So, good morning from our end, Aliyu Masale.
Good morning, Mr. Nimlen. Good morning, Esther. Good morning, Mama Labiro. This is Ali Masale from Baltimore, Maryland, USA. Glad to be here this morning. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So, folks, let's recap for you the stories we brought to you. These are the stories from the front page Africa newspaper. Top stories: majority bloc lied on JFK. Speaker Kun admits Kofa's Ulster was political payback against opposition CDC. And foreign relations, fostering bilateral ties, high-level Indian delegation to visit Liberia. And lastly, religion, fully in support, LCC refutes defamatory claims and reaffirms confidence in current leadership. And the big stories, bombing senator dismisses claims of undermining Liberian government as false and unfounded. Government witch hunting snow is a question mark to that caption. All right. And another one here says victims of lured rebels General K. Worm say they are living in fear as his sentence is delayed in Philadelphia court. we are stay frightened. And the Daily Observer, it says here, Senator Snow under fire for alleged threat to make Liberia unstable. Bouaka administration takes him to tax, and ECOWAS likely to escalate demands for accountability. Another story here says ArcelorMittal executives expected in Liberia amid high stakes multi-user real policy showdown. Bouaka remains firm. And Liberian-born Alpha Collins elected double mayor in UK as UNESCO calls for streamlining of training across all schools and ensuring alignment with national priorities and needs. And then lastly, for the front page of the Daily Observer, Liberianizing the marine sector. APM Terminals, Liberia and Switzer present Liberia's first certified marine pilot and talk master. To the back page, Liberia's tax chief calls for ease of tax payments to empower SMEs. And lastly, for the Daily Observer, and Gafwan leads Liberia's delegation to 2025 African Development. That's the African Development Bank annual meetings in Abidjan. And those are all the stories we can bring you this morning on this edition of the Print News. Let's take our break. We get word from our sponsors, and then when we come back, we will join our man Aliyu Masaleh to run us through this morning with some of the stories we brought to you.
It's about musical. There are crowds in many places. In every community, you can see. So if you see crime, report it. Don't take law in your hand for the real authority. Well, it can't take your law in. Crime stopper here for us. Bringing safety to your door. Whether you rich or you poor. If you see a you must talk it. I mean you cheche. You wait for your safety. If you see it, don't keep it. You must call to report it. Crime stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime stopper, stopping crime and make it peace for them before. Crime stopper, Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime stopper, keeping us safe, let's stopping crime for all of us. Crime stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Stopping crime and make it peace for them before. Crime stopper, Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime stopper, keeping us safe, let's stopping crime for all of us.
Crime Stopper Liberia is your community crime fighting partner. Don't take the law into your own hands. Remember, if you see a crime, report it. This is a message from your own old man Sam Sion.
Crime stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime stopper, stopping crime and make it peace for them before. Crime stopper, Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime stopper, keeping us safe, let's stop it crime for all of us. Crime stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime stopper, stopping crime and make it peace for them before. Crime stopper, Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime stopper, keeping us safe, let's stop it crime for all of us.
Darling, you look so worried.
Charles, I'm worried because I don't know where to get stuff for my shop and restaurant.
Oh, come on, man. Haven't you heard about Exodus Best Price Store on Gurley Street and Smart Road Junction on the Old Road?
Oh no, Charles, tell me about it.
Exodus Best Price Store got everything for your shop and restaurant. And the good news is that they have reduced the prices of club beer products and imported beverages. So to keep that graduation party, wedding reception, and whatever occasion jump until the break of dawn. Exodus Best Price Store is that place for you.
Is that all?
No, they have for the first time introduced on the LIB market Buffalo Revive that comes with 4 different flavors: Cool Blue, Apple Kiwi, Full Red, and Fitness Orange. It's good for athlete and everyone. For wholesale and retail supply, call cell number 0770-617-575. Exodus Best Price Store on Garland Street and the Old Road Smart Road Junction. We are your cheaper wholesale and retail store.
Exactly. When you want some more, I provide. So we start to talk. Come on, so go in deep and deeper. Put it to each living sense.
Folks, let's say a big thank you to our sponsors, Crime Stoppers, Liberia, Exodus Best Price Store with 2 branches. One is on Gurley Street, the other one is on the Old Road, Smart Road Junction, and Mayuba and Sons Incorporated. So we will leave the shores of Liberia and then send controls to Aliyu Masale for the next 3 to 4 minutes. Maximum 4 minutes to get himself all of the stories we read this morning. So Aliyu, if you're there, let's hear from you. You got 4 minutes to do that. So take all the time within 4 minutes.
Yeah, thank you, Deb.
Aliyu, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear
Aliyu
me?
Masale, you there?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes. Go ahead, Aliyu. Let's hear your
Okay.
contribution.
Yeah, thank you there. Thank you there. Listen to all the reading. Yeah, that 2 stories there caught by heart. The first thing had to do with the speaker, Mr. Kuhn, for saying what he said. I think this whole thing started in the house, and we said it, or the president, he was in the know of this whole thing. They wanted to remove Speaker Kofa, yeah, because he wanted a regime speaker, as Richard Kuhn told us that he was a regime speaker. Okay, those people came to power. That's why I said this government is going to be more corrupt than any other government in the history of our country. Because a government that will come to power and they don't want anything like check and balance. Okay, everything should just be unity party. At the end of the day, those people will just steal and then they go. And this is why today, I think, thank God, everybody know now, Richard Nangbe-Kun, he already made with the Liberian people to know what they did. It was just a political issue paid by to get rid of Speaker Kofa. You see, so this is the government that came to power. This, or Mr. Baka said, oh, when I come, there will be nothing like no blue Liberia, no green Liberia, no pink Liberia. But today, we can see that even he himself, when he came to power, we saw the division trying to divide Liberia. Everybody in his government should be unity party people, going after people turning position. At the end of the day, they ended with the speaker. And this whole time of removing the speaker, that was something that they started ever since. At that time, when the CDC lawmakers said, okay, if you say this man is an American citizen, we will boycott the inauguration and thing. They say, let's allow the speakership election to go on. And after that, we will go after him. And finally, they did it. Because why? They want to be in possession of everything. So people who were talking say, oh, Mr. Kofa, the speakership, and now your power farm, you so greedy for power and for the sake of the country. Why you get to say today? Speaker Kofa was not the one. It was Joseph Baka who decided to undermine his own government. The whole legislative impact that happened in the House, it was from the president. He sponsored everything. He funded them with all the money, Liberian people money, just to get Richard Kuhn as speaker. Today, you're talking, say, oh, you want a seat on the United Nations Council. Is that the thing you will be doing in the country where there is no respect for rule of law? There is no respect for even the constitution that made you people who you are today. You see? So these are some of the things that this government brought upon with the Liberian people. How are you people going to get a seat? They see Ekwa that came. They were talking to you. You say you can't listen to them. Joseph Baka did everything to get Richard Kuhn where he is today. So people that were talking about Mr. Kofa was the one that was holding the country hostage. Mr. Kofa, for the sake of peace, just so you know today that Mr. Kofa was not the one. It was Joseph Baka. And this is what I continue to say. These people, they will be prosecuted during the next administration. Be it CDC, not CDC, any government that will come, they have to prosecute Vecheku and the others to set precedent that no more people will just put themselves together as political juntas, gangsters, and hooligan to destabilize the country because of their own political power to enrich themselves. And this other issue about Melvin Snow, and I see this thing flying all on social media, and I saw the reckless and irresponsible statement from the Ministry of Information. I already know what these people they are up to. You keep doing things to make the country to look ugly. You're making other people to look ugly. If you will say because Suno said he wants Joseph Boakai to be a one-term president, you see, I pray that they might not do better so he can be a one-term president. So what does that mean? You're talking all kind of things. The man want to overthrow, he want to undermine the government, he want to do this, he want to do that. Then what will you say about Joseph Boakai when he said that if these people think that they are going to steal the election, they are lying. Because if they try it, that is going to be the end of this country. And for somebody to say, I want this government to be a one-term government. Look at that two statements where it will get Supreme Court in the country, and you see somebody saying that if people cheat in the election, that's going to be the end of the country. So if they cheat, you don't have Supreme Court to go to, but that's going to be the end of the country. So look at these two statements. Who is on? It was I think President even though our campaign, he want to say, oh yes, Joseph Boakai want to undermine my government. He want to bring war in the country. Because if you say this is going to be the end of a country, what does that mean? Now, what business you're talking about? You see? But now, the next thing that they try is to go after Snow. Yeah, because he not stay long with ECOWAS. So they're trying to get rid of him, that another person they want to send there. These are the ways and means they are finding. But this government, I will always say, let's pray for our country. And we want the best for our country. Liberia is all we have. But send this government king, what we are praying for, what we expect, we still waiting to see it. Because the entire rescue that the king way, we haven't yet seen it. We don't know when they will start with their rescue and their arrest agenda. So these are the two things that really caught my mind. The issue about Rachel Cook confessing today. So people who have Speaker Kofa, the former speaker, at heart that he was the cause of what was happening in the house, he was never the cause. That was the president that decided to destabilize and undermine his own government. And today they want a seat on the United Nations Security Council. Local police brutality today in the country. This gunter at Battery Factory. Everybody watch what happened there. We came from war. And when we see this thing happening, it takes our minds back. These are things that scares investors from coming into the country. Police brutality is more than ever before. The Unity Party, they are noted for that. During Madam Sedi and Joseph Boakai 12 years, police brutality were on the increase. During George Weah administration, it wasn't like that. There was a measure put in place. But now Unity Party has come back to power. See what is happening in the country. And you want to sit on the Security Council. Is that how you're going to get it? Where people see your country, you're brutalizing your own people on a daily basis. There is no respect for rule of law, constitution. Then you want to sit. We pray for you to get it. But if we see this kind of thing happening, you're undermining yourself in getting the seat. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Lee Masale. I don't know whether Esther want to chip in something, then we can hear from our listeners.
But the whole issue of blame game, whether free to finish, I got no insight, but let's put this part where it should be. We already understand what the people, where you guys are going. ECOWAS tried to get involved with this whole speakership issue, and with the disrespect to show ECOWAS, being in the middle state of ECOWAS and all of that. I thought that who is trying as much as possible to destroy people who are members or assign people with the Parliament of ECOWAS. But this is the best way to see how to do it by lying your way through.
And we got a slap from that because ECOWAS
opposition, so you cannot come and just replace them with that. You cannot do that. So by coming and lying who is not in the interest of the country, because all these statements from there, these are huge allegations. Very much huge allegations. You cannot just say it concerning somebody unless you have proof. So I hope what you guys are saying, you have proof. You have something to prove to that. Yes, no said is, and he said he's going to do everything possible to, civilize the country and all of that. These are huge allegations. So for me, I didn't listen to, that excerpt. But I mean, we heard from Ali and some of the folks who are running with the story that what does Snow say that warrant, the country being in war or threatening the country with war? Because by you telling somebody you pray that they don't succeed, you just want to give them, or you pray that they be long-term president. Does that in any way say that you're praying to destabilize the country? So why are you guys coming back today? Yeah, so why are you guys coming back today to tell us that Snow statement is a threat to the state? If Snow says that he prayed for Waka to be a long-term president, because apparently he himself, he got political ambition. He wants to, be president tomorrow. How many of us expected Joseph Walker to be president today? We thought that his 12 years under Ellen Johnson Sirleaf was the end of his presidency. But, I mean, we went and elected him at his age. Today, we see how the country is going. Under this 45 or I don't know, 50 or 60 years experience old man in government. Today we see how the country is proceeding. So I don't know what really the Snow say that, the Ministry of Information is coming up with all kinds of statements that, Snow wants to destabilize the country. We got the current president of this country, his own record, for threatening the security of this country. He's on record for that. And I don't know why young people, coming up with this thing today. We all know that this current administration is not comfortable having Francis Koufax as speaker from the opposition. They were not comfortable having him there. So they did everything possible to have him removed. And Francis stood his ground, knowing the fact that he's a lawyer. He decided to channel his grievances through the courts. And we all know what the court said. He finally resigned. Today we all know that the guy who is now the speaker is a member of the ruling party. So, I mean, it's not something strange to us. For me, I knew that Waka was not comfortable having Francis Koufax as speaker because he knows that having Francis Koufax as speaker, some of his shady deeds will be exposed. He wasn't comfortable having him there, while in his 6 years. So let's put somebody there where any deal we send or any bill we send or anything we want to happen in our house to pass. Let's send open. So they did everything, and today they are always there. So that's the country, my people. We just gotta keep praying. 6 years. 6 years is not going to bed tonight and waking up the next morning in 6 years is over. We just gotta keep praying. 4.5 years to go. We just gotta keep praying. Before we bob our eyes, 6 years is gone. So I don't know who's in this country now want to see bad things happening to this country. Because the war we fought in this country, it didn't do any good thing for us. So we shouldn't be thinking going back to the dark days. Because we know the war we fought that had 1 million plus people displaced, 250,000 human beings lost their lives.
today you see how Liberia is looking. We did not benefit anything from that 14 years war before. The only thing we benefited from that war was setbacks. Today, you see our country, we are still struggling for certain things that, other countries have gone far with. So, folks, you listen to the reading. The assertion made by the current Speaker of the House of Representatives and the press release from the Ministry of Information relative to the assertion made by the Army County Senator Snow. So we are about to gauge your views. Those of you who are following us, those of you who are watching, you can drop your comments when you will have the time to read it. Those of you by your receivers, you can call in and make your contribution. 0776 104 104 086 500 104. The female line is open 0770297016, and the WhatsApp line is also active. Plus 231-886-500-104. All right, so we want to say a big thank you to the people of the Sea View community there on the Robertsfield Highway, Town. Thank you for coming up together as a community to speak about the illicit sand mining that is ongoing in your community. And we saw the presence of the police there on that day. I mean, that's how, the community should rise up. When you see ugly things happening in your community, you stand up against it. You don't have to take guns. You don't have to take weapons to fight. Use your voice. That is your power. That is your weapon. Speak of the ills. Don't, waste blood. Don't fight. If Seaview community people, they came together to say we are tired of this thing. We are tired. Look at our properties here and being threatened. So that's it. That's how community should stand up against bad things. So let's hear from our people. Call us now. Let's hear from you. We'll give Esther the chance to read all of the comments made for us. Well, let's talk to our first caller. Hello? Hello, welcome to the show. Welcome to the show, Rock of Gibraltar. I don't know whether the name that your parents gave you, Rock of Gibraltar. I think that Johnny Hartman name is better, all right? Yeah, but not Nick anything today, Johnny. One of your biological names. It's good to call your biological name.
I don't know. What is the government? The government gave Jogla to your brother? Or the government like anything? And what is the opposition that Jogla did? Or the government reach any position on Jogla?
Johnny, are you there? Oh, Johnny, what is happening to your phone? I don't know. You went off. We are not responsible. Johnny, hope you can call us back and make your contribution, but you went off. Hello? Welcome to the show. Edmund, let's hear you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Well, welcome to the show, Ma Helena Ule. Welcome to the show. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Esther. Good morning, Masa.
Good morning, Mama.
Thank you. I can help you. So, wakati making us scary. What cannot make us scary? What cannot make us scary from the beginning for the people fatal? What cannot for the people to put it in a chair? You are afraid the reason why it happened because he wanted to be president at that moment. You hear? That's why he's there for. He never wanted for so Liberian people will think. No, let us think. Oh. Let us think. Because I want to waste all of this today. Everybody witnessed that thing that happened. You can see the people say, being something, a Valentina to India, you will not be president. That one made it to do it. And he made a play. And let me tell you, I can pay attention to school. No, let me tell you that other road on that side. That road, that school man who made American people down, who gave false certificate to the people. He interviewed that man that night when he made 12 pesos, when school 12 pesos, I mean, yeah, when school 12 pesos, you were 12 pesos, 12 pesos, you were 12 pesos. No, sir, I didn't say it, oh. It's no fair. You would like for him to be one time president. He asked that big man a question over 3, 4, 5 times. I pay attention to it. And Baka said it. You didn't for the said it to George Weah. And Baka said if he didn't win, Labrador going to be some kind of way. And what Baka said, he said there were going to be no Liberia. So what a big deal. They think they were doing to people, they don't want for to do it to them. And because they want for their own men to go to airport, that's what they're doing it for. They see the one that they started fighting for the men to go to that place in Peter. Look, these people will not joke are already hungry. We will not get food to eat. Look at the contract things. People displaced. Then what do you see doing? When you put in one star, you even talking about your government this and that. And what we eat? Look how we living in our own country get slaves. For what reason? For what reason? Then let the party to get people away. They didn't get people away. And they will suffer the thing tomorrow. Anybody that will get in a chair, say they can't think. I tell you, thank you this morning.
Thank you, Ma Helena. Let's talk to this person. Hello? Yes, good afternoon. You are giving us feedback, and it's not good for us.
Okay. I'm going to radio.
Go ahead.
My point on the issue of very slow. Is it better? The same issue that we're on with Fonati Kofa. The people are saying they are paying into the international community. The slow that are not supposed to go on in the UN, they are saying they are paying. And everything that was done in the past with ECOWAS, the Canada government, they are in it now. They are inside the house on taking over at the speaker. So now the planet is to get a lot of slow from the ECOWAS city. Hello?
We are listening. Go ahead.
Yeah. They are objected is now to get the ECOWAS position. They wanted to be there. This is why they come up with this statement. And now they are going, what does he want to say that the president did not give the president to? They ain't going to send the minister. He didn't
afternoon. Welcome to the show.
Good afternoon to you and good afternoon to your main listeners. This is the voice of Peter Stein. I'm trying to support the show.
Go ahead, Peter. Let's hear you.
When I listened to that particular version of Phone that night, what I heard the senator saying was he was pointing to a particular question. Do you want this administration to succeed? Or are they failing? He said they were saying he went to outline where they are failing. And then they asked him whether he wanted them to succeed. He said, I don't want them to succeed because the way they are going, I wanted to continue this way so that they can fail, so that we can come and take over. The other thing that is concerned about opposition fighting. Okay, but in that case, they didn't change the biggest thing about it. They stay on the other side. Because even these are opposition who are the opposition and then we have for 30 days so that opposition or people were falling into a bit of particular sitting government. It happened yet. The Prime Minister told us that people in opposition are falling in when the former president traveled to Dubai. I don't know Dubai on the other Arab Emirates somewhere. That they were falling in to take one of the country. These are the kind of opposition. These were guys who were saying the president come forward with this soon. And the president would not know what they have been trying to do. Whenever they will come for, the president would not know. These are guys who are opposition paying money to watch for the central of Europe. Do you know what the part of the opposition? They pay what? 80,000 so that Washington get pensions and Europe.
Okay.
Why is it that these guys are so hypocritical? Someone saying the president or playing the campaign and dropping his seat.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Peter. Thanks for your contribution. Let's talk to this caller, then we'll go to Esther. Sorry, we'll have to let you go with that feedback. We're not taking any call with feedback. Let's talk to this person. Hello?
Yeah, good morning,
Yes, good afternoon and welcome to the program.
yeah, but when I did the border, some last time, tuning in for the beer attack this hour.
1 minute, Sabu Rasta. Let's hear your contribution.
Okay, but when I got the signal coming for almost I thought almost he gave me good reason, but for me, I'm giving good reason. Let it real, let it clear. For me, I want the government to feel. And when that, yeah, I want the government to feel, but when I never pray there, I never pray about that. Never almost pray to God that the government to feel. And when I make that my reason is simple. I'm promised, our president promised that they would not be business as usual. We see all the evil things that President Reagan did to all, he would not went to all. But today, in all the contrary, we are seeing our president right what for our president that day is going to be done. How many people are going to like that celebrity home? That's million. So I don't know, I want to permit to build 100%. I just pray that, but I want to permit to build.
Okay, Sabu Rasta. Thank you. Thank you, Sabu Rasta. Let's go to Esther. We have few comments there. Let's take them, then we can go home. So, Esther, let's go to you quickly. Let's get the comments.
Well, we have the last call. We keep on watching for Green Zero. I'm watching from Green Zero Sources TV. Thanks for you guys for your great effort and also following you guys from New York Council today. Please, the riverside, dealing with financially in the Western City government is targeting key opposition figures because of 2029. They insulted ECOWAS and know that they have lost their backing now. They're looking for an appeal. The opposition community members should be very careful with them. We have the militias union guards who's following from District 16. We have Yaka Sharif, who says she's watching Talia says, I don't blame UP for the removal of COPA. COPA and the CDC are responsible for its removal. COPA and linemen to the UP paved the way for its removal and the CDC sat back until the bar was passed. And Talia again says, when the audio is terrible, the old theater says, please check the sound. I don't know what I'm looking at. I'm watching from Greenville County. So my side, they are coming already. We have exposed in the only promises. We got the efforts and social followers from Mina Brown. We also find you by other people. Okay, we have clients. Sorry. Let's just, we also have first, she says, the morning watching from Lane Brown, CAUSA. We have clients. We also afternoon with the extra. We have Nathan KHK, fellow student FM, and watching from Canada. So far, so good. These are all of the comments we have.
Okay, thank you very much, Esther. Opumlambo Nimas is just joining you live from the world capital, New York City. Comfort McGill is also following. Local Wamo, all of you watching, want to say thank you for being a part. We still have time to take a few more calls, maybe 3 more calls to do, and then we wrap up this edition of the Train News. Good afternoon. We have to let you go with feedback. You call with feedback, we'll cut you off. Hello?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the show. Let's hear your name and where you're calling from. Let's hear you, Amadou. You have a minute.
Yeah, I just called to say that thank you, and I pray that God will continue to guide you, and I pray that God gets better to me. You have done a long time.
Amadou, we've been told that there was some money raised for you for your medical, and then since then you haven't gotten back to us. We're just hearing from you after so many months.
I went to the hospital, but things didn't go the way I expected.
So things didn't go the way you expected. Why didn't you call us back to have us informed?
I just came back. I will have to come see you. I just came back.
Because the reason I'm engaging you on the radio, because this is the very radio that we use to raise money for your health. And if something went wrong, you were to call us back to have us informed, because some of the folks that made donations were calling us to know about your condition.
You mean on freedom?
On freedom.
I'm not sure with them. I'm not sure.
All right, just find time to call us. I know. This is the very. Go ahead. Let's hear your name and where you calling from. Good afternoon. Welcome to the show. Go ahead. Let's hear you.
Yeah, but if you have to do it,
Okay.
It was here when Donald Trump was the second election. We are very good.
Mm-hmm.
But was when you got to the Unity Party, they said John Gamma left for American election. America made Donald Trump a one-term president, and they were going to make Georgia a one-term president. He was in his country. Someone still said to them about his one-term president. What is signing that? But when you're thinking, you didn't want to people, they're really thinking that they need to follow us that time. Well, I think, well, what you name for American election? What you name for American election? It's the same way America made Donald Trump one-term president, we're going to make Georgia one-term president.
Okay, man. I know, right? Thank you, and do have a wonderful day. Let's take our last caller. We'll go home. Hello?
Yeah, morning.
Yes, good afternoon.
Yeah, I want
Welcome.
you to get the female now.
It's okay. Let's hear from you.
It feels good that you mostly. It can also help that good. That was there when I was telling us that Georgia was going to become a one-term president. Georgia was going to become a one-term president.
Yeah, Master C, welcome to the show. We don't have much time, so let's give you 1 minute.
Yeah, thank you for taking the session. Yeah, we say hi to my brother, the house brother. So with them,
Hmm?
they have no issue. I have their one problem with it.
Okay.
Let them put one of hell. I have no problem with it. But when we're getting put there, the best direction one time to them with that, they'll be one time to play back out government. Then I find from there. Let them put one of hell. What the problem? What the problem? But we're going to be one time to play all trigger of the pressure. What the fuck is also? The fuck is also? What the people like to say, what the killing program was what the president? That guy is supposed to what the president? Let them put one of hell, man. Thank you, my son, with the one of the plan. Let them put one of hell.
Master C, Baba. Well, folks, on that note, this is how we conclude this edition of the show. But we'll go to Aliyu. Aliyu, 30 seconds. Let's hear you.
Yeah, Mr. Imle, can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead. We are hearing you, Aliyu.
Okay, thank you there. Thanks to all the callers and those people in the comment section. Yes, all the only thing we can do, let's pray for our government. Like, if you say you don't want the government to succeed, that's not a good thing, because when the government fail, we the Liberian people will fail. No matter what they do, let's just pray the king to rescue and let them do what they can do. We shouldn't pray for the government to rescue, for them to fail. Because if you just look at your age and then you see 6 years, when the government fail, you say you fail. You see? So no matter what they do, we pray for them. At least let it succeed. When they succeed, we the Liberian people will succeed. And Mr. Snow didn't say he want this government to fail. He want this government to be a one-term government. Those people said the same thing, that they wanted CDC to be one-term government. And today CDC was one-term government. So look at somebody say I want the government to be one-term government, and you outline what the government is doing, all of their failure, and you say based on this thing, I want them to be a one-term government. And compare it to what President Baka said, that if we think we'll rig the election, that's a lie. Because if we try it, that's going to be the end of the country. Look at these two statements. And the one-term government, you said it to us. So it's not something strange. But nobody should pray for the government to fail. When the government fail, everyone will fail. Let's pray for them to do the best. Thank you. God bless America. God bless Liberia.
Master, thank you very much. I know today is a national holiday and a regular day in the United States. Where you can visit your loved ones, grieve, and all of that. So I want to say thanks to all of you. Let me say good afternoon from my end there to Big Brother Solomon Hashim Tunis. They're starting out in New York City. Good afternoon to you, Solomon Tunis, you and your family. I want to wish you a wonderful, wonderful week. Folks, we'll be here tomorrow, God's willing, Esther and I, together with the rest of the crew, to bring you another splendid edition of the program from the Pre-News. My name is Wendell Nina. Esther Baku was here. We got to go.